Morning. In the earlier video, we had done how to construct similar triangles. The method in the first video we had done was when the triangles do not have any common vertex. Right? You will see a pop-up about this video and you can go and refer it again just to recollect what we had done. This was the video it was about. You can see the two triangles MNP and DEF have no common vertex. And the two properties that we had used here was to find out the sides of the second triangle using the property that the corresponding sides of similar triangles are present in the same ratio and corresponding angles are equal. So when sides and angle of one triangle is given, using these two properties, you can find the sides and angle of the second triangle and draw the two triangles. This was the first method. Today we will be doing a second method where we have a common vertex. So let's say we have this example, triangle ABC similar to triangle XBY. So you can see we have a common vertex B. Now in this case also the three sides of the first triangle are given. So using this I have constructed the first triangle and one ratio is given. BC upon BY is equal to 7 upon 4. So now as you can see here, one vertex is common. So the precaution that you have to take that the common vertex should be on the left hand side. So that will make it easy for construction. Second thing, here as you can see BC upon BY is 7 upon 4. What it means is that if the side BC is 7 parts, BY will be only 4 parts. Now as you can see BC is the base of the first triangle. BY will be the base of the second triangle. So it also will come from the vertex B, but it will come somewhere closer than C because you can see BC is 7 parts. That means this triangle which I have drawn is a bigger triangle and BY is only 4 parts. That means it will definitely be smaller than this and the triangle that we will get will be a smaller triangle. So first you have to decide from here whether the triangle which you want to draw now, that is the second triangle, is a smaller triangle or a bigger triangle. So accordingly again the method changes. So now in this case you can see BC, which is the base of the first triangle, is 7 and BY, the base of the second triangle, is 4. So we know the second triangle that we want to construct is smaller. So let's first do the construction. In this method, we will be using the method which you have learnt in lower classes about dividing a segment into equal parts, which you have learnt in lower classes, and that same method we will be using here. So we construct a ray from the common vertex, that is from B. And then, which is the bigger number, that many arcs we have to cut. So the number is 7. So we cut 7 arcs. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Next we label them B1, B2, B3, B4. I am giving it the same vertex for better understanding. So now we have made 7 arcs. So now you can see which is 7 part is BC. That means this entire base is 7 parts. So what we do is this point C, we connect it to the 7th part. So this is the first part of our construction. Now, what we have to find out is, we have to find out a position somewhere on this base where Y will come. And that part will be 4 parts out of 7. So for that, from the 4th part, 1, 2, 3 and 4, from the 4th part, I will have to draw a line which will be parallel to this. And wherever that line will intersect the base BC will be my point Y. Now how do we construct parallel lines? For that, we will be using this property. I hope you recollect. This is 2 parallel lines. This is a transversal and these form a corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are equal in measure. So now I have one angle here. Similarly, I will make another angle at this point which will be equal in this measure. And for this, we will be using our method constructing congruent angles by just using a rounder and not a protractor. So again, you can have a look at my video basic constructions where we have learned how to do constructing congruent angles. So let's start. I want to draw an angle of this measure at point 4 also. Why at point 4? Because BY is 4, right? So which angle will I measure? The angle which is at measure 7. So using my rounder, I keep it on the point 7, and any measure, I just cut an arc. Any measure. Now without changing this, I keep it on the 4th point and I cut another arc, right? So the first part is over. Second is we have to measure this angle. So the arc, one pointer on the one side, pencil on the other side. See, we have measured this angle. Lift it up, keep it on the arc that you have made and cut an arc. So now you can see you got a point, this point, and the 4th point from where we want, we will connect these 2 points. So now you can see these 2 lines are parallel, and this point that you have got becomes the base BY of the second triangle, right? So now you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this much is 4 parts. The entire thing is 7 parts. Now we got the base BY. Now what is remaining is only the vertex X. And this vertex X will lie somewhere on this side. Now how to locate that point X is again to make an angle congruent to this angle. So now you can see we have an angle here and we will make one more angle here. Again following the same principle that if 2 lines are parallel, then corresponding angles are equal. So again we will make congruent angles. So we keep our pointer on C and we cut an arc. Any measure, again keep it on Y and cut an arc, starting from the base. Next is we measure this angle using our rounder and again we cut an arc. Now what we do is we connect this with the Y. So you can see these 2 lines are parallel and the vertex that I have got here is now X. So you can see this is my second triangle XBY, smaller than the first triangle, but both of them are similar. So when the vertex is common, this is the method that is followed for construction. So just let's revise fast. What we do is first we draw the triangle, first triangle with the given measurement, taking the base which is given in the ratio and taking precaution that the common vertex should be on the left hand side down. So we made the first triangle ABC using the measurements. Then we see how many parts are given. BC is 7 parts, BY is the 4 parts. This is the first triangle, this is the second triangle. So from here we come to know when BC is 7 parts, that means it's a bigger triangle. BY is only 4 parts, so it's a smaller triangle. We cut an ray like this and we make 7 equal arcs. Then BC is 7. So the 7th point is connected to C. So now we want to draw a line parallel to this given line from the 4th point. Why the 4th point? Because BY is 4. So what we do is pointer here, we cut an arc, keep it on the 4th point and cut an arc. Next, we measure this arc and again cut an arc. And when you will connect it to the 4th point, you will get a parallel line. And wherever this line intersects the base is your base BY of the second triangle. Now to get the 3rd vertex, we do the same thing. We draw an angle equal in measure to this over here so that we get one more parallel line. And why are we drawing parallel lines? Because we know the sides are in the same ratio and parallel lines will divide this side in the same ratio as we have done here. So same, we keep the pointer on C, an arc, pointer on Y, we again make an arc. We measure this angle using a rounder and cut an arc. And when you will connect it to Y, you will get your next vertex, which is X. So we got the 2 triangles, XBY and ABC. Now this was the case when the second triangle was smaller than the first. Let's see a case where the first triangle is smaller and the second triangle is bigger. So let us say we have a case here, triangle DEF is similar to triangle DMN and the 3 sides of the first triangle are given. Using that, I have constructed the first triangle. DE was the base given, so I have taken DE base as 4 centimeters. Now from the ratio, you can see DE is 3 parts. The one which I have drawn is only 3 parts, whereas DM, which is the base of the second triangle, is 5 parts. That means here the triangle that we want is bigger than the triangle that we already have. So for this, what we do is we will have to extend the base. Next, we follow the same method. The common vertex D I have taken on the left hand side, and then what we do is we make an arc. Now, using our rounder, the bigger number, which is 5, we make 5 equal arcs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For simplicity again, I label it as at D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. Now, we have to connect. We have to connect this point to one of the points here, DE. DE is given only 3 parts. So 1, 2, and 3. So this third part, I will connect it to E. Now this is the difference here. We are not connecting the end point. We are connecting the third point. Why the third point? Because the base which we have drawn is DE. And DE is only 3 parts. Right? Now what we do is same method. Now we got an angle here. This angle, now I will have to make it here. Right? To get a parallel line here so that I get my second base, which is DM. So we keep our pointer on the third arc. Any measure, I am making an arc. Keeping it on the 5th point, again we make an arc. Now let's measure this angle. That is pointer on the first and pencil on the second. See, this is how I measured the angle, and here I keep it and I cut an arc. Right? So now I have got 2 points. I connect this. So you can see I got a parallel line to this. I'll just darken it out so you can see it clearly. Right? So now this is what I have got is DM. That means this is the base of my second triangle. This is the base of my first triangle. Now I want to locate the third point, which is M. Sorry, N. M I have already located N. So N also will be lying beyond this point because it's a bigger triangle. So we extend the top also. Now again same method. This angle I will have to construct here also. So again using our rounder, we cut an arc, keep it on a M and a arc. Now we measure the angle that we have made. Right? Pointer on one end, pencil on the other, and similarly we do it here. So we got 2 points again, this one and this one. And then we just join it and extend to get our vertex N. So you can see this was the smaller first triangle and this was the bigger second triangle that we made. So how do you decide which part to connect is? From the ratio. As you can see, DE here was given 3 parts. So third part was connected to E. Whereas here in this case, BC was given 7 parts. The base that you have drawn, BC, that is why it was connected to 7 parts. And the second triangle that we required was smaller. So we made the angle inside. Now in this case, DE, which was the earlier base that we had made, was just 3 parts. That is why it was connected to 3 parts. And the second triangle, DM, is 5 parts. It clearly indicates that the second triangle that we have to make here will be bigger than the first triangle. That is why from the 5th part, whichever line we get will give you the vertex M. Then making parallel angles here, extending the upper side also, you can get the third vertex. So these are the 2 cases where the first triangle can be bigger and the second can be smaller, or the first triangle can be smaller and the second can be bigger. The idea, you will get it from the ratio, right? This was the given ratio, 7 parts. So the bigger triangle was the first one. Here, bigger triangle is the second triangle and the given triangle was the smaller triangle. So here, just the method that we have to use is making congruent angles, which we have, the measure that is available, and to make the same congruent angle at the second point. So this is the method that will be followed when the vertices is common. Thank you.